It's week 2 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Jets and the Cowboys, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come off a loss in the home opener last week. Now they get their first road test of the early year.
And it's such a downer when you lose that first game after pointing to it in the whole offseason. They've got to get themselves revved up and cranked up and try again this week.
So the new-look Jets ready to go on offense, and it is the veteran Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Rodgers going to come out throwing. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. You look at this Cowboy defense. Yeah, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the... Doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And complete, right side to Cook. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up fourth down. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3-and-out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast.
So the Cowboys ready to go on offense for the first time, and it is their now 30-year-old quarterback, Dak Prescott, who leads the way.
Prescott has some things to clean up from last season, leading the NFL with 15 interceptions in only 12 games played. But we can't overlook the good. 23 touchdowns and an 8-4 record as a starter as he led the Cowboys to consecutive postseasons for the first time since 2007.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Prescott from the gun. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quince. Worked his way back for that sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Left side to Lamb. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, it's Prescott. And he's is going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the...
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Throwing is Rodgers. Finding Hardman here over the middle. But Charles, a tough task ahead for this defense, trying to slow down Aaron Rodgers. What would you be trying to do?
I would think about selective pressure, Brandon, and what I mean by that is he's going to eat you up if you blitz him too often because he'll read that and go to the man coverage patterns. But every now and then you bring that pressure at him, make him deliver the ball on time. It's when he keeps the ball, maneuvers out of the pocket, and throws deep, that's when you're in big...
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Going right back to Wilson. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
A lot to talk about when it comes to Garrett Wilson, the reigning offensive rookie of the year. Last season, really embraced the wide receiver one role in New York. Broke Keyshawn Johnson's rookie record for yards, and one of the brightest young stars at his position lives up to that by getting another Jets first down.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 66 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to having on call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete. There don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's third down. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Flushed out right. To run for it, the decision of Goodwin picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you talk about this Jets defense,
they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him,
there he goes, right side. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talk. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Here's Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Rodgers. He finds Wilson. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And they bring this one inside the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're really off balance.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on third down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Tony Pollard and his Dallas teammates ready again on offense.
He's been pretty effective so far, solid numbers yardage-wise, but the fumble last time, that's what he's thinking about. Has to be a little bit more secure.
Yeah, he does. Would you yell at him right here? Would you get on him?
No, I think you pick him up, don't you?
I agree with you totally. You pick him up in this situation because a lot of game left to be played, and he can be special with the ball in his hands. In that situation, he wasn't. You should talk to him about the 4 points of pressure, high and tight to the body, and let him go back to it.
Well, still plenty of time in this game, so he'll have opportunities to secure that ball with those 4 points of pressure. Now Prescott. Now he's forced out right. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Hardman on the return. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
New York ready to go again offensively.
They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Rodgers. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. Catch is made by Hardman. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 23. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
On play action, it's Rodgers.
Locates Hardman for another catch.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter.
as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Up the middle, it's Cook, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, his first touchdown of the new season, and they are able to add on to their advantage. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now Lewis selects to return it. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic...
There he goes, left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 77 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary. The big guy there showing some agility. He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Flush to his right. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now this offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Rodgers to throw on second down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
In motion left, Hardman. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. On this one, it may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively. On play action, now Rodgers. Completes it to Hardman. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 27-yard line.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook.
He'll take it inside the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal. Now it's Rodgers. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets.
A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets are able to widen their advantage.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Zerline good with a PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Make it to the 25. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Jets will take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Rodgers now on 1st down. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
There we go, here we go. 5-7. Hey, we're good.
First throw now for the backup Wentz. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 on a 1st down.
And this was a nice example. Scheming his guy open, just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run again with Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. It's brought in by Wilson. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. Anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle, it doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Got a man, that's Lazard. 36 yards on the play.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Zerline's kick is up and through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the third quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And able to get this out to the 25. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Here's Pollard again. And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
A great run by Pollard, and runs like that have had us anticipating a breakout season from him for years. And it finally arrived in 2022. Dallas gave him more run, and he had his first 1,000-yard season despite receiving less than 200 touches.
Prescott's throw going to be caught by Gallup. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
26.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 11-yard line.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Jets now to take over. They're trying to get back on track following the loss to Buffalo a week ago. But the good news, they've got the lead right now here in the football 1st and 10. Caught by Wilson. And he'll be out right at the 35.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 55 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. They'll get this up to the 47.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Nifty move. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? Got to put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down. They go for it on 4th and 2, and it's a gain of 6.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he will have a Cowboys first down, at least at first glance, as they spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
And a solid run down inside the 30. 148 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. From the 29, here's second down and 3. Pollard taking up the gun, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott, eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down. So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that's going to tie things at 20. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jets. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Oh, what a move. And he'll have a Jets first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Now Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, plain and simple. That's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 33. Give him 18 on the play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Throwing is Rodgers. He has a man. It's complete to Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up. His time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the 1st down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. So on now is Greg Zuerlein in a pressure situation. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And they'll accept that penalty. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Now Rodgers. Touchdown Jets. Mecole Hardman from 6 yards away. And the Jets have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. So still time remaining here in this 4th quarter, but the touchdown there puts them back out in front.
And you and I both know that their defense will not very subtly remind everyone that they started all of this because they held firm on the last drive and only gave up a field goal. Gave it back to the offense in a tie game and said, okay, your turn now, make something happen. And they went down the field and scored.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. Then everyone crashed into the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Prescott. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quentin Jefferson in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Prescott now. This drive rolling. It's another first down.
Like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 32-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Dak's throw taken in there by Cooks. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
At the 29-yard line.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The offense for the gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. On first down, Rodgers.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down the fourth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And this is going to be intercepted. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win.
You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard.
They'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had there during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
Second down, Pollard again.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Trying to run forward with Pollard.
And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Last play, this time they double it and pick up 6 from the 5, 2nd and 4. Now a give here to Pollard. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Here's Cook again.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Rodgers going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Run for Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it up.
Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And the point. And furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Possibly a turning. Play coming. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people. Of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rodgers. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second, this is a one-score game. So they're still very much in this. And they're
on a huge mistake late. It's intercepted. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well. Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
They'll run with Pollard. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Prescott to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
A 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Prescott. Flushed out right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Here comes 2nd down. Rodgers to throw. There's a short one caught by Uzama.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
That's complete. It's Cook. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 46 seconds left. 2nd down here. And his throw here is incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw, Rodgers. Finding Hardman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football if hit it.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big third down. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Here's Prescott. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they had that one sniffed out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Well, Prescott here to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Well, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the